This is a presentation on the biological description, biogeography, traditional uses, chemistry, biological activity, and economic impact of rice. Rice, a member of the Oryza genus of seeds, is the most widely consumed staple food throughout the globe, especially in Asian regions. It is second only to maize as the world's most highly produced grain. There are two common species of rice, the seed of the plants Oryza sativa and Oryza glaberrima. Oryza sativa is commonly grown in Asian cultures, while Oryza glaberrima is more common to regions located in Africa. 17 countries in Asia, 8 countries in Africa, and 9 countries in the Americas utilize rice as their main dietary resource. All species of Oryza are grown as seeds. The most common forms of wild rice are dispersed throughout various humid tropical locations and exist in various forms. Natural habitats of wild rice are usually swampy areas such as marshes and canals. Many species of Oryza from Asia are found in deep waters and is commonly referred to as floating rice, due to its buoyant characteristics. Rice is often found in two different forms, wild and cultivated. Wild species of Oryza are able to grow on their own due to their natural ability to postpone their seed germination until advantageous conditions are available. However, cultivated species of Oryza require human cultivation for survival. The exact origin of cultivated rice in Asia is still not exact. However, studies of genomic mapping do show that the species Oryza sativa, or Asian rice, originated around 8,200 to 13,500 years ago in a region located in present-day China, more specifically the Pearl River Valley. From the eastern regions of Asia, rice spread to the south and southeast regions. The history of the cultivation of African rice, Oryza glaberrima, dates back 3,500 years. African rice originated from the Niger River region and eventually spread to Senegal. However, due to the prominence of the Asian species Oryza sativa in regions of eastern Africa, the African rice Oryza glaberrima never spread far from the Niger River delta. Rice can exist in short, medium, and long grains, which differ in the type of dishes that they are prepared for. Short grain rice is used in the production rice pudding, medium grain rice is usually used for sweeter dishes, and long grain rice, which contains high levels of amylopectin, is used for its sticky properties in dishes such as Thai sticky rice. Rice is often called the essence of the Japanese culture. The importance of rice in the Japanese diet is even portrayed through the Japanese language. Gohan is the word for both cooked rice and meal. Similarly, in Korea, pap is the word for both rice and meal. These words demonstrate that rice is an important cultural food in these countries. It is nearly impossible for many people of Korean and Japanese descent to imagine a meal without rice. The importance of rice in Japanese culture can be traced far back in Japanese history. Many lords of ancient Japan, called daimyos, used rice as a measure of their wealth and also as a payment to their warriors called samurai. There are also connections between Japanese social behavior and rice. The Japanese culture concept of wa, which resemble harmony, need for consensus, and feelings of dependency are all associated with rice cultivation. Families were linked together through rice as a communal resource and often lived together in clustered homes. This exemplifies the importance of group decision-making and harmony in Japanese culture. Rice also has medicinal purposes that vary by country. In South Korea, rice is often soaked in extremely hot water to make a thick, pasty meal called chuk. This Korean plate is often served blandly, consumed by itself or with very little salt. Chuk is consumed during periods of diarrhea to alleviate diarrhea's side effect of dehydration. The nutritional content of rice depends on a variety of factors: strain of rice, the nutrient quality of soil in which it is grown, how the rice is processed, enrichment process, and how the rice is prepared. The strain of rice refers to the color of rice, either white, brown, black, red, or shades of purple, each with varying prevalence in different regions of the globe. When studying the protein, mineral, vitamin, carbohydrate, and fat quality of both white and brown rice, it is apparent that neither strains of rice are a complete nutrient source. However, it is evident that brown rice does contain higher fiber content than white rice. Rice contains all the amino acids essential for building and maintaining muscle tissue and making up antibodies, enzymes, and hormones. These amino acids also help maintain healthy skin, hair, eyesight, and nourishes the heart, lungs, tendons and ligaments, brain, nervous system, and glands. Brightly colored strains of purple rice develop their color from tocos and anthocyanins and contain greater quantities of hydrophilic antioxidants. These pigments contain antioxidant properties that are beneficial to human health. Red and black rice were found to slow the progression of atherosclerotic plaque development caused by an excess of intake of dietary cholesterol in humans. However, rice does contain certain health concerns. Rice contains arsenic, a poison that is also characterized as a Group 1 carcinogen. Arsenic is dangerous in any quantity, and the United States has established a limit of 10 parts per billion in drinking water. But consuming even one serving of certain kinds of rice contains more arsenic than the consumption of a single liter of water that contains 5 parts per billion arsenic. In response to concerns of arsenic in rice, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is undergoing tests, and China has a limit of 150 parts per billion for arsenic in its rice. Today, independent farmers, mainly in rural populations of East and South Asia and South America, are mainly responsible for the cultivation of rice. Many of the developing countries in these regions are responsible for 95% of global production of rice, with India and China accountable for almost half of this total output. The production of rice worldwide has taken a steep incline, with total production of rice in 1960 at 200 million tons to 679 million tons by 2009. Not surprisingly, the same developing countries account for the majority of global rice trade, consisting of 85% of imports and 83% of exports. India is the current leading exporter of rice, exporting a total of 9.75 million tons annually, with Vietnam and Thailand following closely behind, with each exporting 7 million tons and 6.5 million tons respectively. In 2010, the Philippines, Nigeria, and Iran were the world's leading importers of rice. It is interesting to note that although China is the leading producer of rice, it is not a leading exporter because the majority of the rice produced is consumed domestically, leaving little for export. Rice is a major food source for countries all around the world, and it is a vital crop for rural populations, especially in developing countries, and is essential for food security. A goal of the United Nations Millennium Development Project is to spread global economic development to Africa. The production and export of rice has allowed a surge in economic growth in Asian countries. Groups like Earth Institute are currently conducting research that hopes to replicate the economic growth in Asia and Africa. If new genetically modified species of the species Oryza can be manufactured to grow under the harsh environmental conditions of Africa, an increase in rice yields can result in a similar economic revival. Many nutritional properties in rice also make it essential for human health. Food security is the condition of having enough nutritious food to maintain a healthy life. This is often a problem in low-income and low-middle-income countries, especially in Africa. Almost 3 billion people, equivalent to 50% of the world's population, depend on rice for survival. In some parts of Asia, many populations consume rice with every meal. Rice constitutes over 30% of total calories consumed in Asia, over 10% of total calories in South America, and nearly 20% of the world's total calories consumed come from rice. Rice plays an important cultural role in numerous countries, especially those in East Asia, whose rituals are commonly associated with preparation, sowing, and harvesting of rice. In conclusion, the economic and cultural significance of rice in every corner of the globe makes it one of the most vital crops in the world.